Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Career Launcher. My name is Naveen, and today we'll be looking at math practice questions of this year's CSAT. So I hope your preparation is going well. So the first question of the day is, if y is a positive integer such that 5y plus 18 is perfectly divisible by y, then the number of possible values of y is. So basically, if 5y plus 18 is perfectly divisible by y, which means we can break this down as 5 by y plus 18 upon y. Now 5y by y will result in 5, so that is divisible. Well, the second term is going to be divisible if y is a factor of 18. Because if I put y as, let's say, 1, so 18 by 1 is all good. If I put y is equal to 2, 18 by 2 is all good. If I take y is equal to 3, 18 by 3 is also fine. It's going to be divisible. But if I take y as 4, 4 is not a factor of 18. So 4 will not divide 18 and we will not get an integer. Since it's supposed to be perfectly divisible, it should be an integral value. So y is supposed to be a factor of 18. Now how to write down or how to count the number of factors of 18? So either we patiently find out what the factors of 18 and how many of them are, or there is another way to solve this. What you need to do is prime factorize the number 18, which is going to be 2 to the power 1 into 3 square. Then the number of factors of any number when its prime factorized form is given as power plus 1 into power plus 1 into next power plus 1 and so on. So this results in 2 into 3, which is 6. So it will have 6 factors. So the answer is going to be C. There are 6 different values of y that will divide 5y plus 18. Next question. The cost of geodis varies directly as the square of its weight. It's a type of mineral, or you can say it's a type of rock, crystal. So while showing to the customers, this geodis broke into 4 pieces with weights in the ratio 1:2:3:4. When the pieces were sold, the merchant got rupees 7,000 less. Find the original price of the geodis. So the first statement says the cost is, it varies directly as the square of its weight. So cost varies directly as the square of its weight. So this is given to us. Now, if we look at the ratio in which the weights broke, it is 1:2:3:4, which means the initial weight was 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, which is 10. So this was the initial weight. If this was the initial weight, then the initial cost, let's call it CI, is going to be square of 10. So it's going to be 100. 100 rupees, 100,000 rupees, 100 lakh rupees, something in terms of 100. Now, when it broke into 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4 parts, and the weights of these 4 parts are 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the final cost is going to be square of 1, square of 2, square of 3, and square of 4 sum. So this is going to give us 1 plus 4 plus 9 plus 16. Now 9 plus 16 is 25, and 1 plus 4 is 5. So 5 plus 25, this will result in 30. So when the weight was 10, the price was 100. When the weight is 1, 2, 3, 4, so the prices are 1, 4, 9, 16, so that the overall price is 30. Now, if we see here, what we see is there is a reduction of 70. So if it was 100 rupees initially, now the amount becomes 30 rupees, which means there is a reduction of 70. But in the question, we are mentioned 7,000. Basically, this is 70 into 100. So since this is 100 times, we will multiply this by 100, we'll multiply this by 100, we'll multiply this by 100. In other words, the initial price was 10,000 and the final price is 3,000. So that's wherein we will have a reduction of 7,000. Since we are asked to find the original price of the geodis, it's going to be 10,000. So option C. So when we do ratios and proportion, this is how we solve it. We assume those proportions to be the actual values and work on them. Let's look at the third question. A bought 5 cars, 7 tractors, and 4 buses. B bought 6 cars, 8 buses, and 14 tractors for an amount which was half more than what A had paid. What percent of the total amount paid by A was paid for the cars? So if we look at cars, and then we have got tractors, and then we have got buses. So if you look at A, he bought 5 cars, 7 tractors, and 4 buses. And if we look at B, B bought 6 cars, 8 buses, and 14 tractors for an amount which was half more than what A had paid for. So let's say A paid for 100, paid for all of these as 100 rupees, then B would have paid for half more than 100, that is 50 more, so it will become 150. Now, if we pay attention, what we see is tractors, they get doubled, buses, they get doubled. So if I double everything from A, what will happen is I will be able to get rid of tractors and buses. Basically, we are saying that 5 times car plus 7 times tractors plus 4 times buses is equal to 100 rupees. 6 times cars plus 14 times tractors plus 8 times buses is equal to 150 rupees. So basically multiplying the first entire equation by 2 and then subtracting, we will be getting 5 into 2, 10c minus 6c, that is 4c. 14t minus 14t is nothing. 8b minus 8b is nothing. 200 minus 150 is going to be 50. So that means the price of the car is going to be 50 upon 4, which is going to be 12.5. Now, what we need to do is we need to find out what is the total amount paid by A. And from that, what was the percentage that was spent on buying the cars? Since A bought 5 cars, so the price of 5 cars is going to be 5 times 12.5, which is 62.5. So the percentage amount paid is going to be the amount he paid for the cars out of the total amount that he paid. Since we assumed it to be 100, it becomes easy to figure out the percentage. So option B becomes our answer. Another question. X dealt some cards to Y and himself from a full pack of playing cards and laid the rest aside. X then said to Y, if you give me a certain number of your cards, I will have 4 times as many cards as you will have. If I give you the same number of cards, I will have twice as many cards as you will have. Of the given choices, which could represent the number of cards with X. So the important word over here is could. Could means possibility. So basically, there may be more than one answer. Okay. So we need to find out one of the values that satisfies it. So if you look at X and Y, let's say X has got small x number of cards, Y has got Y number of cards, and total cards we have is 52, where X plus Y is not necessarily 52, because he gives some card to himself, he gives some to Y, and then he laid the rest aside. So there are some cards which are beyond. So X plus Y is going to be less than 52. Now, X then says to Y, if you give me a certain number of cards, so let's say Y gives K number of cards, so X will have K and Y will have Y minus K. Then he says that he will have 4 times the number of cards as Y will have. And next, X says, if I give you the same number of cards, as in the number of cards with X now becomes X minus K, and that of Y becomes Y plus K, I will have thrice as many cards as you will have. So that means X will have 3 times of Y plus K. Now from here, we need to somehow find out the values of or the relationship between X and Y. So what we are going to do is let's get rid of k. So we will have x is equal to 4y minus 5k. And from the next one, we will have x is equal to 3y plus 3k plus k, that is plus 4k. So basically, if I multiply the first one by 4 and the second one by 5, and if I add them, k will cancel out. So we will have 4x plus 5x, 9x is equal to 8y plus 15y, that is 23y, and k vanishes. So from here, what we see is that the value of x 16 plus, oh, sorry, it's not 23. My bad. 4 into 4 is 16, not 8. 16 plus 15, that is 31y. From here, we can see that x by y is going to be 31 upon 9, which means that x is going to have 31 cards and y is going to have 9 cards. Or x can have 62 cards and y can have 18 cards, and so on. Now, from a deck of cards, there are only 52 cards in a deck of cards. So x plus y is going to be less than 52 only in the first scenario and not in any further scenarios. So x can have 31 cards. Though it is not mentioned that what kind of deck of playing cards we are using, it may be a different deck of playing cards where we may have hundreds of playing cards. Who knows? So that's why it says which of the following could be. So 31 is the first answer. The next answer is 62. If we look into more options for X, none of the options given will match. Only 31 will match. So that becomes our answer. It's a tricky question. Another one. The average of 7 consecutive numbers is A. Well, when you come across such question, assume 7 consecutive numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, when you have consecutive numbers or when you have numbers in an AP, their average is calculated as the average of first and last, that is 1 plus 7 by 2. Or you can calculate the average of second and second last, 2 plus 6 by 2, and so on. It doesn't matter. So basically, you choose a number on the leftmost side and the number on the rightmost side and take the average of only these two numbers. You did not take the average of all the numbers. When do we do this? When can we do this? When the numbers given they are in an arithmetic progression. They are in an AP. Now, so basically here, A is going to be 4. Now, if the next three numbers are also added, so if we have the numbers from 1 to 10, basically, then the average is going to be same approach as previous one, the average of 1 and 10, which is going to give us 5.5. So what we see is that the average, it increases by 1.5. So C option. So when they ask you that, assume this happens, or, these are the numbers that you should take, this is the largest number you should take, actually take those. Don't work on variables. It will be more time consuming. Well, that's all for today. I'll see you again very soon with another set of problems in quant. Until then, take care. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye.